Somewhere on the New Jersey Turnpike is a toll booth officer who speaks Chinese. And I know this because last Friday I was driving up a van full of people up to ConnectiCon, which is an awesome show for web cartoonists, and it's an awesome show in general. You should check it out next year. But we're driving on the Turnpike and we're about to get off the Turnpike, and we stop at the toll booth and I hand the guy the ticket, and instead of hearing the total amount that I owe and what I should pay, I hear "Ni hao ma," which is not something you expect to hear from a toll booth on the New Jersey Turnpike from a black guy who speaks English with a French accent. These are not things that occur to you when you are driving to Connecticut. So I had to admit, sorry sir, I know that you're trying to greet me in a familial way, but I speak neither Chinese nor Japanese nor any other language that I look like I should fucking speak. Sorry. Idiot American only speaks shitty English. And he says, "Oh, you should learn it. It's a beautiful language. Here's your receipt. Go on your way." And the van erupts with laughter because you don't often get Asian shamed by a black guy who speaks French. This is not something that happens all the time. So I thought about it a little bit and I went on my way. And, you know, you can either choose to be greatly offended or you can choose to kind of just roll with it. And I figured this is not exactly a teaching moment, like driving up to a toll booth and saying, "Excuse me sir, just because I look the Asian doesn't mean I speak the Asian." It's not going to be the aha moment for the guy. It's like, oh, maybe all Asians in this country don't speak the Asian. I mean, it's not one of those teaching moments. And I could choose to be offended and angry, but that's really all me. He's not gonna fucking care. Like, he thought he was being awesome. And really it's all me getting worked up and pissed off about, you know, a very short minute and a half encounter. I kind of looked at it, and this is me making assumptions about him now because, you know, it's fair game. He made assumptions about me. I'm gonna make assumptions about him. But I figure since, you know, he does speak English with a French accent, that his native language is probably French, and he's probably from a French-speaking African country. And he's probably new here. I don't know if he's immigrated recently or 10 years ago or whatever. But I looked at it as more him trying to make a connection with somebody else that he thought was the other. And for whatever reason, he thought learning Chinese and speaking Chinese and connecting that way would be a good way to connect to somebody. So he looked at me and probably thought, well, this is a guy who can, maybe he's not from the same background as I am, but maybe we have this connection because we're both others, we're both outsiders, and we're looking into this American experience from the outside. Sadly, you know, he picked somebody who was born in Washington, D.C. and has spoken really crappy American all of his life. But who knows, you know, maybe he does connect with other people who speak Chinese or other foreigners as they pass through the toll booth. I imagine you try to do anything to try to make a personal connection with somebody as you're working a toll booth. I've got to imagine it's one of the most thankless, hard jobs to do in the world, especially the Turnpike where everybody is fucking mad. So yeah, I thought it was cute. In another circumstance, I would have probably been a little bit pissed off. But for some reason, I thought this was a nice little exchange. Surprised the shit out of me, because, you know, you don't expect stuff like that anywhere, especially the Jersey Turnpike. So yeah, if you are ever driving on the Turnpike and somebody speaks to you in Chinese, don't be surprised if it's a black guy who speaks English with a French accent. So that's my story, and I'll check you later. Bye.